Among fair-skinned populations, Northern Europeans, Australians, Americans, skin cancer rates can be between 10 to 50 times. 10 to 50 times higher, especially for long-term sun exposure. Hi lads, skin cancer in Thailand. It's no joke. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about that in this video. And one of the reasons I'm wearing this hat is because if you're a regular viewer to the channel, you know I have been wearing baseball caps. But baseball caps don't provide adequate protection all around, like back of your neck, your ears and stuff like that. And as well as that, my baseball caps are all very smelly. So I bought this down in Ban Seng, you would have seen it in our last video. And I intend to wear it, or a hat like this, during the daylight hours in Thailand all the time. It is something like 36, 38 degrees at the moment. The sky is clear blue. The UV rays in Thailand, I get UV warnings. Probably, do I have one now? Probably won't have one now. I don't have one now. But usually once a day, I get a UV warning on my phone telling me that the UV is 7 out of 11 or whatever the gauge is, I don't know. But stay with me, we're going to talk about skin cancer. And one of the things to remember is, as a Farang, a fair-skinned Farang, you are a lot more likely to develop skin cancer than a local Thai, obviously because of skin pigment. They are more protected. We're not, especially someone who has no hair or receding hair. If you go out without a head covering, you're crazy. And that's the truth, that's what I'm saying, because I got sunstroke, well, almost 2 weeks ago now. And it wasn't a pleasant experience. So I found a place that's out of the sun and fully air conditioned, and I've never been here before. I'll leave a link in the description and I'll leave a caption up here as to where we are in Bangkok. This is in Tramara. I think it's 40, it's not 47, it's either 49 or 51. It could be in Tramara 51, I'm not sure. No, it's not, it's the other way around. It's 45. This is in Tramara 45, that's where we are. And there's oodles of hotels and restaurants here, but the good thing about the hotels and well, obviously the hotels, but the restaurants are, a lot of them are indoors, just like this, fully air conditioned. So I don't need to wear my hat in this portion of the video, but I think I will continue just to label the point. So I've ordered some chicken and rice or something like that, but let's go through some statistics if you're interested. I mean, I never quote statistics on this channel usually, well, sometimes I do, but not normally if I go to my gallery here. So let's look at a few statistics. So it says here, this is according to ChatGPT, skin cancer is less common in Thailand compared to Western countries, but it's still a leading cause of new cancer cases. Driven by the intense tropical UV exposure, cases are rising with carcinoma, there we are, basal cell carcinoma, or BCC, being the most common, and melanoma carrying a surprisingly high mortality rate. So, although it's less common in Thailand compared to Western countries, what's the reason? If it's got such a strong, the sun here is so intense, and the UV warnings come to my phone every day, how is it that it's less common? The reason it's less common is because the Thais don't expose themselves to the sun. Well, they've got a darker pigment in their skin, but also they don't expose themselves to the sun. Harry and I call them the vampires, because his friends don't come out to play till after 5 o'clock. So that's the reason. And what do we do when we come to places like this? Absolutely. We bask in it. Thailand's general skin cancer incidence is relatively low compared to Europe, Australia and North America, largely because the local population tends to have darker skin types. and it says more melanin, that's hard, but more melanin protection. In southern Thailand, non-melanoma skin cancer rates were reported around non-melanoma skin cancer rates were reported around 2 to 5 cases per every 100,000 annually. Depending on the region and sex, among fair-skinned populations, Northern Europeans, Australians, Americans, skin cancer rates can be between 10 to 50 times. 10 to 50 times higher, especially for long-term sun exposure. That's why a white, British or Irish, that's what it says here, white, British or Irish retiree living full-time in Thailand can carry roughly the same biological risk profile that they had back home, but with much higher cumulative UV exposure. Thailand's UV index is frequently very high to extreme, 8 to 12 plus year round. That's what I was saying. When the last notification I got was 7 to 11. So 8 to 12 year round, which accelerates skin damage faster than Northern Europe. But statistics like that are alarming. It never even crossed my mind. It hasn't even, would I say it never crossed my mind? It never really crossed my mind. I had a mole on my arm, I still have it there, which changed shape there about a year ago, and I think I included it in the video. And I went to a hospital here in Bangkok, private hospital in Bangkok, and they did a test on it. I was okay, thankfully. But this is something you got to keep an eye on. And you see, this puts years on me. I was speaking to Paul in Brisbane, and JC and Seascapes in Perth, and two good friends of mine, two Irish friends of mine, and both of them said that this puts years on me. But if I go out without it, it'll take years off me, literally, or it could do. Another reason why I'm more aware of it now, not just because of the fact I burnt the head off myself a couple of weeks ago, is I'm bald. And I haven't been bald all my life, so my scalp hasn't been exposed to the skin, so it's fresh skin, let's say. And exposing it to UV exposure at 8 to 12 plus, I don't pretend to know what exactly those figures represent, but I know it's high. You're absolutely asking for trouble. More statistics if you're interested. If you are local to the Rashid-Afzak area, that's where we are, you can easily access world-class dermatological and oncological screening using advanced AI technologies like Photo Finder, FOTO Finder, mole mapping, etc. There's a hospital in Sukhumvit, Samitive, Samitive Hospital Sukhumvit offers AI-powered mole mapping for early skin cancer detection. So we can get screened, and that's what I'm going to do. I'm not going to do it today because I don't have the time today. You could say, of course you should have the time to check something like that. But I'm taking care of myself. I never wear or rarely wear short trousers. People always criticize me for that. I wear long jeans like I'm wearing today. I rarely wear short sleeve shirts, although I roll up my sleeves. But you see, my arms have melanin. They've been exposed to the sun for all my life. So they're kind of not pearly white like the top of my head. I can tell you now, I am not ever going to go out in that sun in Thailand without some form of head covering. It's just not worth it. It's just not worth it. Let's have a read of some more statistics. Because the UV index in Thailand is consistently high year-round, local hospitals recommend using a broad spectrum of sunscreens with SPF 30, skin protection factor of 30 or higher, reapplying after every 2 hours. Wearing UPF rated clothing while wide brimming hats. Somebody said to me the other day in a comment that a friend, he knew people who got melanomas on their ears. They were wearing baseball caps, but baseball caps don't protect your ears. So there you go. Wide brimmed hats and UV blocking sunglasses. Well, there you are. Screening and treatment in Bangkok. If you are local to the Rashid office here, we covered that already. I just saw a Farang there without any head covering. So I don't know. Are we asking? See, the other side of this as well is that something's going to get you. You won't get skin cancer. You won't. Skin cancer will get you. And if it's not skin cancer, it could be something else. So maybe, you know, we can only use things that may deter the onset of something like this. But it doesn't guarantee that it will prevent the onset. So if this doesn't get you, something else will. I'm the type of person that lives my life now because I'm 62 in November, and I have lived so far a much longer life than a lot of people I've known. All you got to do, if you want to have a look, you can Google. I do these things on occasion, but you know, people in their 20s who die, people in their 30s who die, you know, blah 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 blah. I don't want to get depressing or boring, but I don't want to get depressing or morbid about these things, but I'm lucky that I've survived until now, and there are certain things that I can do to prevent the onset of any problems in the future, and this is something I can do. There's other things that I'm may not be willing to do so willingly, is to stop drinking alcohol completely. I'm not willing to do that. It's a calculated risk, but you see, I mightn't live long enough to suffer the ill effects of drinking alcohol. I mightn't live long enough to suffer the ill effects of not wearing head covering walking along the street. I mightn't live long enough to do many things, but I hope to live long enough to enjoy making this video for you and eating my breakfast, which I assume is coming sometime soon, eventually. We shall reconvene when it comes. That's what we'll do. Thank you so much. Coca-Cola now. Check. Okay, well, this has arrived, and thank you so much. And an array of condiments that you wouldn't get anywhere else. And we've got our chicken and garlic rice. There we are. Isn't life wonderful? That smells absolutely delicious. We have squeezy cheese. We have the French's classic yellow mustard. I prefer the English stuff. We have white pepper, sugar, and what's in this? Barbecue sauce. There you go. You don't get that everywhere in Bangkok. So I've asked for a Coca-Cola, it hasn't arrived yet, so I'm going to just use some, I presume this is sea salt, I don't know, let's give it a go. Hang on. There we go. And this is some ground chili, and I'm a bit, whatever, white pepper, bit of pepper, and off it goes. So my Coke hasn't arrived, I don't know why. Anyway, let's get stuck into this. So have you had yourself screened for skin cancer since you came to Thailand? I've had myself screened for quite a few things, but never that, because it's something that is just not on the radar. Well, it's very much on the radar now. And those UV notices that come up on my phone, that's new. That hasn't happened before. Hang on, what's this like? I don't want to be a statistic, but I will be eventually. None of us want to be statistics, but we will be eventually. I heard a good joke recently. A fella goes to the doctor. This is on Instagram, I think it was. A fella goes to the doctor And he says, I want to live forever. And the doctor says, well, do you drink? And he said, no. Do you smoke? He said, no. Do you party? He said, no. And the doctor said, well, why the hell do you want to live forever? You see, when I was growing up, melanoma wasn't a thing. And even in my early adulthood, when I started to hear about certain famous people dying of skin cancer, it was still something that you think, it's not that serious, it's treatable. You know what I mean? Because you can see it, it's on the surface, you can see it, it's not internal. That's the way I was thinking. I don't know if you were thinking that way too. Corn crab? Come me Pepsi, Cola? Coke, mammy? Nam? Right? Okay, I try. Okay, no, thank you. I don't know what it is. It's Chinese. They don't have Coke. And I've never had this before, so this is a first for me. It's a first for you. It's a first for YouTube, I'm sure. Thank you. I'm done. Thank you so much. So, I've absolutely no idea what this is. Will I Google my phone, Google Lens? I'll Google Lens it. This is a 310 milliliter can of Wang Lao Chinese herbal tea, often referred to as Jai Duabo or cooling tea. It's marketed for its properties to help relieve internal heat and reduce thirst. Well, you can't go too far wrong with that. So I'm going to enjoy my Wang Lao. There we are. This is turning into to be a very health conscious kind of video. No Coca-Cola, we're drinking our Chinese herbal tea. Okay, I'll put a bit of salt on me. I know. I put a bit of salt on my breakfast, but you know, you gotta live. The pork is excellent. I'm sure you're interested to know what this is like. There's a twang, there's a hint of tea, like proper tea in it. It's quite sweet, but it does the trick. I was talking to a good friend of mine today, and this highlights what we're talking about in terms of skin cancer in Thailand. He lives in Australia. And he highlighted the fact that he lives in Western culture. And in Thailand, obviously we're not. The language is different, the food is different. By the way, if you're wondering why there's Chinese stuff here, this is the real Chinatown in Tram Ra, Wigwam. The Chinese embassy is here, all the rest of it. But he highlighted the fact that when a European living in Thailand has to contend with a foreign climate, foreign food, foreign culture, foreign language, foreign behaviour. It's all foreign. And in Australia, well, the culture is not foreign. The language is not foreign. The behaviour is, generally speaking, not foreign if you're from a Western country. The climate, maybe. But this is the thing, that we are Northern Europeans, or Americans, or Australians, or New Zealanders, whatever, Canadians, and we are coming to a very foreign climate. You have to adjust your behaviour for Thai culture. You have to explore new tastes for Thai food. You have to apply yourself to fitting in to the culture. But I have never tried to apply myself to any degree of logical way of thinking when it came to the sun. I still think this hat looks stupid. Remember that figure? We're 10 to 50 times more likely to develop skin cancer in Thailand than we would be back home. This is okay. I wouldn't be queuing up to get it again, but it's okay. I'm not talking about the food, I'm talking about the tea. In the true tradition of this channel, I'll finish this and we'll reconvene. Wow. Whoa. That was really nice. I'm just realising that this is a Chinese restaurant. Everything's written in Chinese. And if you think about Philistine about Thailand, or Thai cuisine, I'm a complete Philistine about Chinese. Oh. Let me finish my Wang Lao and see what the damage is. Bloody hell. And non-crab. I'm being left to my own devices. I'm being left to my own devices. Yeah, it is Chinese. Everything's in Chinese, so it's a Chinese restaurant. That's why they have the Wang Lao, and that's why that food is different. It's beautiful, but it wasn't like any chicken rice I've ever had. It wasn't like any Thai style chicken rice I've ever had. Is there a bell I can ring? There is. You wouldn't want to be in a hurry. Non-crab? Okay. All right, Matt, thank you. Check bin? Yeah, scan okay? Scan? Yeah. Now. A hand, all right, Matt, thank you. Pump pull press it tight. Loy sounds a pan. Down the cup. Okay. Thank you. 135 baht for all that. That's not bad at all. Now let's take ourselves back out into danger, into the rays of the golden sun. You may or may not be able to appreciate the intensity of the sun. This is June, and the sun is more or less directly overhead. Well, it's a little bit not directly overhead because of the fact that Bangkok is 13 degrees north of the equator, and this is the 21st of June. So therefore the sun is directly overhead on the Tropic of Cancer, which is about another 13 or so degrees further north. But generally speaking, at this time of year, as the sun makes its way back, the earth continues its ellipse around the sun, the tilt will mean that the sun will be directly overhead very soon again. Well, it is almost directly overhead. It is absolutely intense. I can feel it on my arms. I can feel it here. I can feel it everywhere. And I'm wearing long trousers. There you go. And I'm not wearing sandals, I'm wearing runners. And here's a tip, top tip for people who are living here and who have probably experienced the things I experienced and blah, 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 blah. The top tip is don't wear open-toed sandals, not because you're at risk of getting skin cancer on your toes. Maybe you can, I don't know, presume you can. But it's because the footpaths are undulating and there's things sticking up and you're very likely to burst your toe like I've done on more than one occasion. Long trousers. Goes without saying, during the day, my legs are fair skinned, so therefore I protect them. And also at night, it's better to wear sneakers, or as we say in Ireland, or as I observe you say in Canada, runners, or in the UK sneakers, or in the UK trainers. Oh, fuck, hang on. You're better off wearing covered shoes with socks at night because of mosquitoes anyway. And in terms of your top, well, you'd be crazy to go around without a top. And there you go. So there's some of my top tips. I'm gonna go home now because I have to do something online. And don't worry, it's not anything untoward. And then we shall reconvene and we'll see what the weather is like later on in the afternoon. I'll try and do a bit of research in the meantime to see what the UV rating is, if rating is that the right way to say it, for Bangkok on today, the 21st of June. Don't go away. So we reconvene at a much later juncture, and the sun is beginning to set. I'm still keeping my hat on because I want to keep the video in the same kind of mood. I can tell you, standing here will put you in a bad mood because this place, this is just a side note, I'm grateful for doing these side notes, you know that. This place here has about 500 apartments, which would, you know, you could hazard a guess at saying 1,000 people live here. And to highlight the issue about the sun, it's not really a side note, but I'm going on to a side note now in a minute. I'm just going to swing around here. There isn't one Thai in the pool, and there won't be a Thai in the pool until the sun goes down. Now, they're not worried about skin cancer. They're worried about going dark, because in Thai culture, going dark is a big no-no. Another thing about, this is a side note, another thing about living here, there are 1,000 apartments, there are 500 apartments here with arguably 1,000 people living here, give or take. A large proportion of them are very attractive young girls. But you see, you won't have to protect yourself against them because they don't say hello to you. You'll pass them by and they think they're better than you. But listen, that's a topic for another video, but it's a fact. The amount of women in Thailand that a 60-year-old or maybe a 50-year-old might be going off about his daily business and encounter this beautiful little filly walking his direction, and he will bid her the time of day and she'll just look at him under her eyes and just continue on her way. Well, that is a topic for another video. But I can just demonstrate it, as I've demonstrated here, that the water is like glass, there's hardly a ripple, there's nobody in it, there's been nobody in it all day because the Thais are afraid of the sun. And we're not. In fact, we embrace the sun, we relish the sun, we treat it like a tonic. Well, you'll need a tonic if you don't protect yourself against it, that's for sure, and a lot more than a tonic. I hope this video has been a tonic for you lads, I really do. And by the way, I just want to say that you're a tonic for me. These are all the people who've helped me on Buy Me a Coffee recently. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your support. If you want to help out the channel, you can click the link below or scan the QR to buy me a coffee. I'd really appreciate it. And lads, I do really appreciate you for being here. Let me know what your experience is in relation to the topic covered in this video, be it good, bad or indifferent. And I'll bring you back another wonderful video very soon. Thanks so much for joining me.